You know, if they make a full trilogy out of this, we might actually get a satisfying trilogy, a satisfying ending for this story. I mean, we all know what happened to all the other trilogies.
2, 1.
After so long, we've been waiting for another good Alien movie, and Jesus Christ, everyone was so worried and freaking out about the Disney Fox merge and everything, you know? Which is understandable, I get it. And you know, this movie was initially going to release on Hulu, very much like the Prey movie. Thankfully, this movie was saved and got released into cinemas, and my goodness, wow, this movie actually fucking rocks. We follow Cailee Spaeny's character named Rain and David Johnson's character named Andy. They're siblings on this mining planet and they're trying to work their way off of it. Her friends discover a supposedly decommissioned ship and they decided to go aboard it in order to steal some technology that will hopefully help them off-world. And as we all know from the trailer, it ain't some random ship that just appeared out of nowhere decommissioned there. Of course, once they board this station, they soon realize just how fucked up this shit really is. In case you didn't know, this movie actually takes place between the first and second movie. You know, the good ones, you know? And I gotta say, practical or not, this movie looked fucking gorgeous. I mean, my goodness, the aliens, the fucking face huggers, whatever, man. I mean, Jesus Christ, they looked really good. And to all you motherfuckers that keep complaining about
CGI over practical effects, what the heck? I mean, this is why the movies in the 80s were so much better because they used practical effects. But this movie's gonna suck because they use CGI, oh my god!
y'all motherfuckers don't know the fucking difference between real and not real, okay? Just chill the fuck out and just enjoy this movie and its beautiful sequences. I mean, my goodness, there are some awesome, badass action sequences, chases. Woo! My goodness, there are some really intense and awesome scenes in this film. I just had to give props to, I mean, my goodness, things that we just never got to see in the other Alien films. Also, wow, I mean, look at this cast. What, an actual younger cast for this kind of franchise? I mean, we've never actually seen this. Every single one of the cast members here give an amazing performance, especially Cailee and David. Even though these characters are written into basic stereotypes that we've seen in a lot of horror movies and other franchises or whatever and genres, thankfully it doesn't lean too hard into it, and we're given some good reason as to why a certain character treats David Johnson's Andy like shit. If you didn't pay too much attention to the trailer, you would notice that David Johnson's character is in fact a synth. And I gotta give major props to his performance here. I mean, my goodness, the direction that they took with him was just very iffy at first, but man, it really just hits home. It is so fucking good. It's so fucking solid. I don't know how they delivered it, but man, it really is the relationship with Cailee and David's character. It's so good. There's a scene in the third act of the film where my entire audience was just like, woo! We're all just clapping and just happy, like, damn, that was fucking badass. I mean, Jesus. The scenes in the Alien franchise where it's humans and synths trying to figure out how to work together and the relationships between them, it's always been fascinating to me. And I'm glad that we got a bit of that with Cailee and David's characters. It was really fascinating and enjoyable, especially with such great chemistry between them. And at the end of the day, it makes you ask the question if it really matters if they're human or not. Oh, and we're back in the 80s, baby. We got all that retro tech from the first and second films. I mean, my goodness. Wow. I mean, this just looks amazing. It looks awesome. It feels awesome. My goodness, it literally just takes you right back to what the old films were, and it works. It really fucking works here, especially with an interesting return of a character, which I can't really dive into much without spoiling the movie. So let's just say there's been a lot of controversy about it, and you know what? I honestly didn't care for the most part. I think they probably could have done something a little better, but I was okay with it. I really appreciated this movie taking its time to build up the world and its characters a bit until when things start really happening in the ship, in the station. I feel that the only thing that's making this movie kind of tank with the reviews and such, it's really the originality here. Some of the shots of this film and the directions with its characters just reminded me so much of the previous films and other franchises that we've seen it done before. You know, this is another movie where, of course, a bunch of people go to this place. Oh, turns out there's an alien on this station area, so they need to figure out how to get out without being killed by the alien. And the way this movie ends is just pretty much almost like a copy and paste of like the ending of part 2, I believe. or 1. I don't remember, but you know, it's one of those. But it's not that big of a deal for me because I understand that this movie is sort of like a reboot, you could say, just a whole new trilogy following different characters and a different storyline that we haven't seen before. And it was really cool to see how the Prometheus and Covenant films all sort of connected to this movie as well. Although there were moments in this movie where a character makes a decision that I'm just like, what? Like, why'd you do that? I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone in theater was just like, why didn't you just do this instead? And of course, the hothead in this group that we all saw from a mile away that was gonna do some dumb shit does the dumb shit, and then shit goes down. Even though some of these decisions led to some really cool moments and sequences, it was just more like, what? Beyond these issues and nitpicks and my overall problem with this film, with its originality and its struggle to be its own thing, I think Alien Romulus, for the most part, is a solid film. I think this movie rocks. There's a really badass scene where Cailee Spaeny is shooting down some motherfucking aliens, and I would like to have her gun that's basically an aimbot. She has an aimbot gun, like in real life, an aimbot in real life. And that shot in the trailer where a character is floating in the air, what a fucking awesome sequence. Oh my goodness. I know I keep saying that term a lot, sequence, but man, this movie really fucking rocks really hard at many moments. This movie went on for a little longer than I was expecting, and you know what? I'm glad that we got to see that like extra 20-30 minute sequence because it was pretty awesome. I gotta say, it was fucking badass. Some people didn't like it, some people hated it, some people thoroughly enjoyed it and liked it. I'm of the people that liked it. I thought it was really cool. This new thing that they introduced to us in this franchise. I mean, I'm all for it. If a director is willing to take a risk with this franchise and put it into a whole new direction with something really different, I'm all for it, because let's be honest, this is a really tired franchise that has never had a full good trilogy. So would I watch this movie again? Absolutely. I think this movie deserves a lot of love, a lot of appreciation. It deserves more attention and money at the box office in order for us to get a sequel, because my goodness, I really want to see more with Cailee Spaeny and David Johnson. I want to see these characters and their chemistry grow, you know? Not into like some weird romantic thing, but their platonic relationship get explored more with a synth and a human being, you know? I thought it was really great. The chemistry was fucking awesome. Don't listen to the naysayers. Do please check those one out. Go and support this film because we need a trilogy. We need a good trilogy out of this, y'all. Well, alrighty then. I'll catch y'all later.
Broadcasting live right now from your mom's house.